Hello everybody and welcome back to Martin's Assembly Haven. And in this video, as voted by you, my amazing subscribers, we are going to assemble this wooden Automata Cat Paradise kit from ELO step by step. So as we take a quick look at the box, this wooden Automata looks absolutely awesome, especially that cat. So different, it's got wings and everything, it's like some sort of angel cat. So this is actually a hand crank Automata, so this is the handle right there, so you hand crank it and stuff just keeps happening. And another brilliant thing is that you can add a music box if you wanted to. It's optional, so you'd have to purchase it separately, and I would recommend having it. So what would happen is you would hand crank it, lots of movement would happen, and there would also be a melody playing in background, which makes it look way better. And I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is that cat is trying to eat the fish, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen, so we're going to see it once it's actually all assembled. And everything that you see on this cover here, this is exactly how it's going to look like. Everything's amazingly pre-coloured. That box at the bottom looks really quite nice, and a lot of the mechanics will be hidden nicely in that box. And if you have not even heard of ELO or have not got any of their Automata models, make sure you go and check them out. I've got a link in the video description and the comment section, and trust me, they have got some incredible stuff. I have built quite a lot of their models already, and you can go and check out some of my videos. And if you have not got this specific Cat Paradise, make sure you go and get it and come back to my video so we can build it together. So let's pop the box open and see exactly what's inside of it. Okay, so there we are, and it is pretty thin, which means it should not take long to assemble at all. And no special tools are required, no wax is required, and no sanding is required. If you wanted to, however, you could wax some of the parts, but it's not necessary. So when we open up any of the ELO kits, we get a nice wee gratitude note, and then we go ahead and open up this. So just grab a wee knife or anything to help you remove this outer plastic packaging. And I forgot to mention, guys, if you are interested in any of these Automata kits, and that link that's in my description and the comments section, if you do, again, decide to get any, you're gonna get 5% off automatically, so that's a little wee bonus for yourselves. So, when we take a look at the instructions, the first thing we see straight away is that we've got 6 wooden sheets right here, and most of the pieces are beautifully coloured in already, which is amazing, apart from these 2 boards at the bottom. But that's okay, because most of these pieces, I'm pretty certain, will be hidden inside of this actual box right there. So that's pretty awesome. And when we do take a look at the instructions, we can also see that there's only 92 pieces, which isn't many at all, so we should be very quite simple, straightforward and relaxing, which is amazing. So let's open up the instructions. Yep, just their normal instructions, very straightforward to follow. So we've got 3 pages all together, that is amazing. Now let's take a look at the actual sheets. So just be careful when you start looking through them, because pieces might start falling out like that one straight away. And look at it. It's going to be a nice big piece. This is just one side of the box. That is amazing. And there we go. Yep, again, just be careful when you look through them. So, yep, 2 pieces fell out. So I'm not going to lift it too much because pieces are starting to fall out already. But before I do begin the actual assembly, I'm going to give you a couple of tips that will help you out. So, as an example, let's look at this wooden board right here, and then we find it on the instructions here. So what I normally do that helps me a lot to make life so much easier is, so see this, yeah, it says number 1 next to this big piece, so this is number 1. So I normally write on the board somewhere number 1 as an example, then I just kind of draw a line towards it so I know that that piece is number 1. Just like that. Does that make sense? See that number 1 right there? So I number all the pieces on all the boards first, instead of, like, let's say as an example, we'll look at the step number 1 and we're trying to find piece number 2. You'd have to go back here and look at all the sheets here and try and figure out where it is, and then go through your actual wooden sheets to try and find it. That's why I try and write numbers on them first, and then all you have to do is keep the instructions open and just look at the boards, and of course you can look at the pieces to see where it could be possibly, and then just pop them out and start assembling. It's as simple as that. And once you have numbered all the boards, you can lay them out somewhere. I sometimes use like a toast rack, basically. I kind of stack them in so you can basically access everything very easily, but it's not as easy if pieces are falling out very quickly and easily. So what I tend to do, again, another wee tip for you is, so let's go back to instructions. So I normally try and pop out all the pieces for quite a lot of steps ahead, and I just lay them in front of me. So I would have like step 1, 2, 3, 4, so quite a few piles, and I just put the instructions on the side, look at the instructions, do the pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. It saves you going back to boards constantly, you see, so it makes it a bit more enjoyable, more relaxing, and a little bit easier maybe. So that's my tips for you. So what I'm going to do now is number all the pieces, then start popping them out in small piles, and then we'll start the assembly. And if I'm going too fast for you guys, just remember, you can always pause the video and come back to each step. And I would also massively appreciate if you left a like and subscribed for more videos like this one. And let's begin. And there we are, all the pieces have been numbered, as you can see, and now I can go ahead and start popping them out and laying them in piles. So this is as far as I'm gonna go just for now. I could have kept going, but I had to stop because there's something important about step 12. So once all of this has been assembled, I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let's start with our first pieces right here. So this is going straight on this, so this has to stay on the outside of this cover. Let's just pop that straight on, just like that. Move that to the side. Grab our wee cover, side, however you want to call it. Pop this straight through, and then this is going to get on it like that. There we go. Just like that, straight through, see that? And this will be our handle. The handle's not complete yet, but this is where it's going. Now these next pieces will complete our handle, you see. So we pop these two round bits on first, just like that. We pop this piece through first, through here, and not this piece. You're gonna see why in just a second. Let's push that straight on, there we go. And this is why that piece goes on first, because if you pop this in first, there's no way you'd be able to pop this long piece through, you see. And now this is just gonna keep everything in place. There we go, just try and push this straight through, nice and gentle. And it should go through the end right here as well, through these holes. So don't push it too hard. As you can see, I pushed a little bit too hard and it's kind of bent the ends there slightly, so just be very gentle. So I had to lower it a little bit, and there we go. See that? Nice. Yep, that is much better now. I was going to say nice and straight, and I was like, nope, that wasn't straight. Now it is, there we go. And now that's our handle completed, you see? The round bits are not coming off and they're just staying in their place when you're turning it. And that's exactly what we need for a much smoother hand crank. Now we move on to our next pieces. Very straightforward, so just pop these just like that. They just marry together nice and easy. And only then do we put the fish on top, because these two legs will go straight through that other piece that we just popped in, you see? Otherwise, if you pop the fish in first, there's no way you're going to be able to put this long piece through. There we go. Just like that. And this will go right in this hole, but we need to keep it on the side just for a wee second. Now when we go onto these pieces, you can pop these small bits straight through instead of putting this gear against the side and then trying to push through, because that will just be easier. And same for the small one. So what I'm going to do is pop this straight through here, just like that, hold it in place, and then this goes straight on it, just crossing. There we go. Literally as simple as that. Way easier instead of just holding both pieces in place and trying to fiddle around trying to put these small pieces in, you see. And when you give it a wee turn, it is nice and smooth already, so you do not need any wax, which is absolutely magic. And then on to our next pieces, and we do exactly the same thing again. Just make sure that you look at these first. See these two pieces? They are different sizes, so the smaller one will stay on the outside and the bigger one is going on the inside. Okay, so again, let's go on to the gear, pop the little wee guy through. Now onto the big piece, pop a guy through. So you need to make sure that they don't collide actually. So there you go, yeah, just like that. So imagine it's going in like this, because if I did this, oh, a little wee piece came loose there. So as an example, imagine I did this. So it's going to go in like that. This is going to be in the middle. They're not going to connect. So you need to crisscross them, you see. There we are. Push straight in. And then this smaller piece is going behind it, you see. Okay, just be nice and gentle. We do not want to break it, and I just realised I'm pushing the wrong side. That is the flat side. That was very silly of me. There we go. That's much better. That was quite funny. And that smaller piece that's up the back right here is gonna pop right in this hole very gently. See that? Nice and easy. Turn it around, hold it in place, and pop this guy on. And just push it straight in. There we go. See? Again, nice and smooth. Okay, so our box is taking a shape. Now we just need to add the ends. So they're gonna connect basically like this. There we go. So this is gonna go here, and this little guy has to come in as well. So when I turn it this way, the fish head has to face this way, so towards this long piece, not the other way. So this way. So pop that straight through that hole at the back and through the hole at the front, and then go ahead and pop these guys in. But when you do pop these guys in, make sure you select the proper ones, because when you look at this, we've got 3 slits. When we look at this one, we've only got 2. So the one with 3 is going at the front. So basically, fish head is facing it. So that goes straight on like this. So just be gentle, Anna. Do not want to be harsh with this kit at all. Nice and gentle push. We do not need too much force. There we go. See that? Nice and easy. And this one now goes at the back. Okay. Nice and gentle. And straight, of course. See that? There we go. As easy as that. Look at that box taking its shape. That looks absolutely brilliant already. Obviously there's no mechanics already, apart from, of course, the handle, and that is really smooth. That is amazing. Give it a shot. If you got this far, give it a shot because it's smooth. And now we can go and install our music box. And there are two wooden pieces that we need. So what you need to do is figure out how it's going to face. So I'm facing my box this way, as you can see. So that bottom gear is facing that way, so to the left. So I want these three dots facing kind of that way. Like, see this corner basically. Look at that. So that should face basically to the right. So keep it like that. Imagine it's going in like this. And then this guy is going in like that, because this is then going to slot in right in this slit right here, you see. So what we can do first is go and screw on the music box onto this. So let's get it open. We have not listened to the music box or even seen it yet, so that will be the first time. As you can see, there it is. Let me put it on a flat surface and let's have a wee listen. Yeah, that is pretty nice. Okay, so this is exactly how it's going on. See that? So handles facing that way. So it goes on literally just like that. And the screws, they will come through the bottom and not through the top, because it's not gonna work. Don't even try through the top. You're just gonna waste your time. Right, so this is our first screw. There we go. Nice and easy. Do not over tighten it. You do not want that. Obviously make sure it's tight, but not too tight. There is just no need for it. There we go. Just hand tight. Not like an animal. We're not animals, you see. There we are. That's it. Literally as simple as that. And now when we go and pop it in, see this? There's a little wee slot at the bottom right here as well. That's where this is going. And what we need to do is we also need to make sure the handle goes through this hole right there at the same time. And we also need to make sure this slots in at the same time. So let's see how that's going to go. I'm going to point the handle in first. See that? There you go. And then the slit. So I'm kind of just pushed it in a little bit, because we need to get that handle and this bit in first, really. There we go. Nice and gentle again. Don't rush it. Trying to push it in. Aha. That sounded good. Oh, I see my piece has popped out. This piece has popped out its place a little bit. Not a little bit, quite a lot actually. So I'm going to pop it back in again and then push it in the slot again. Yeah, got to be very careful here. Okay. Try and push in that slot. There you go. See, that slot's in. That's good. Gives us more space on this side now. Just try and hold it and push it down slowly. Yes. There we go. So you got to be very gentle with that. You do not want to break anything. And yeah, if you're gentle with it, it just goes in nice and smooth. And there we go. Excellent. That is exactly what we need. And if you made it this far, absolutely awesome. Now when we move on to our next step, we've got two gears, and this I'm sort of gonna call it a gear, but obviously there's no teeth. Right, so this plain gear goes straight on here, but when it goes on there, we need to make sure that the teeth connect with this gear and that gear. So then we can use the hand crank to activate the music box, you see. Right, so nice and gentle again. There we go. And just play around with the gears a little bit. There we are. See how they're all connected. Excellent. That's exactly what we need. And now when we come to these pieces right here, we need to make sure we pay attention to these two slots because they have to connect. So if you look at it like that, you can't see straight through them. They are not connected. So just turn one of them. There we go. See that? Nicely lined up now. That's what we need, and that's how it's going to go on here. So we can keep that on the side. Pop this on first. Nice and gentle. Try and not push on the sides of the gear because you could possibly break it. And make sure you connect the teeth. There we go. Just like that. Nice and easy. And now onto this piece right here. Yeah, had to turn it. I was slightly confused there myself for a wee second, but a little bit of turning helps. There we go. See that? Perfect. So if both of these line up like that, so let me turn it a little bit. I'm going to turn the handle. See that? So you should be able to see through that slot right there. Excellent. And now we simply go and pop these two pieces in to keep this gear and this gear right here into place. I know this is not a gear, but there's a gear behind it. You know what I meant. So that slots in just like that, just to keep it in place, you see. And the same on the other side. There we go. See that? Nicely into place. And now we move on to the top cover. Amazing. So again, pay attention. Let me make sure the fish's head is facing up. There you go, just like that. So when it comes to the top cover, we need to make sure that this long line stays at the back. So that's where the fish is going through, not through the square, because straight away you're gonna see that it's not gonna fit. So it's through this longer part, just like that. And when it does go on, see these pieces right here. So this plain piece right there, it's gonna go through this hole right here, that slit, see that? And exactly the same is gonna happen right here at the back of it and right here. So let me show you. So this goes on first, then we push it down gently. Start with this side first. So see how it's like that. So this piece is gonna click into place. It should click into place. Okay. Just be gentle again. There you go. See that? There you go. It's clicked into place. So the lid will be nice and secure. We do the same on the other side. So you can pull this side towards you a little bit to help you pop the lid in. So I'm going to pop my fingers in at the bottom. Gentle. Don't apply too much pressure. Let's see if that's enough. Yep, that was enough. Absolutely awesome. There we go. This is exactly what we needed. Brilliant. See that? So this is what you should see. 3 gaps. Just like that. That is absolutely perfect. And then we go ahead and pop these in to keep it in place so they don't just pop out like this. See that? Because it could easily pop out and we don't want that. So these just go in like that. Nice and easy, clicks into place. So I find it much easier if you pop a corner in first. So we'll go in like that. See? And then push it in instead of going straight in. I find that much harder. So, corner in first. See that? And then push it in. That is way easier. Absolutely awesome. And now we can give that handle a crank, and that little wee fish should move as well as the music box should play a melody. Yep. That is absolutely brilliant. So it works nice and smooth. I did catch onto something there once for a wee second, but it seems perfectly fine now. Absolutely brilliant, and you can check out the gears at the back as well. There you go, everything's working absolutely awesome. Brilliant job, guys. And now we simply have to connect these pieces right here, and then I'll show you what I mean again in step 12. So this piece hold up like that. This has to face down like that, so the slit has to face downwards, and just pop in like that on this side, and the same on the other side right here, and then those two will just slip in like that. Okay, there we go, nice and gentle, no rush or not too much pressure, you know, nice and easy. There we go, slides in very nicely. There we are, as far as you can. There we go. This is exactly what we need. And now I can show you what I meant about step 12. So when we come to it, when you see the 31 pieces, the bigger pieces, you might think, oh, I thought the sides are supposed to be coloured. So they will be, trust me, it will come to it. And then when it comes to these smaller pieces that go around it, see when you go onto this board right here, so what you have to do is don't try and mix these pieces up, okay? So what you should do is pop one by one out and leave them in the same order as the board, apart from this piece right here, and this piece will have to be turned that way. So the rest of the pieces just pop out straight like that and just leave it, and then add piece by piece. That will make life so much easier. And there we go. This is how they should be all lined up. So the patterns connect as well, you see. It just makes it look much better. So they kind of connect, to be honest. I thought it would connect perfectly. If it was like that, I would connect, but it's perfectly fine, you know. And then these two pieces come in play, and they're both exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. And then you just go along, pick the pieces, and just pop them in like that. There we go, nice and easy. Just remember, keep them all in the same order. Don't mix them up or turn them. There we go. And this gap right here is created for you already if you haven't turned them or mixed them up, you see. Literally, just like that. Nice and easy. And then this just goes on the top, so again, be very gentle when you're doing it, because you don't want to break anything off from these small legs. Nice and gentle. There you go, see that? Very gentle. And it works absolute magic, and this is exactly what we need. Absolutely awesome. And this is us, by the way, starting to assemble the cat. And now, this is where the coloured pieces for the outside come in play, you see. So what we've got to do is, we put one side on, like that, then we grab this piece that we assembled already, so make sure this part faces that way, so towards the front of the cat's face, basically. So yeah, that way. And we just slit it in like that. So just pop it in just a little bit, because the other side has to go on as well. So hold it in place, and just push it right in. Nice and gentle. See that? That was incredibly smooth, by the way. That felt really nice. Slid in just perfectly. Brilliant. So I'm going to pop this on the top, and now I'm going to go ahead and pop out more piles of pieces, because there isn't anything so far that has to be kept in exact order. So we got more pieces popped out, and there will be something to keep in order in step 21. So let's continue with the cat assembly. So we've got these two pieces. This will go straight at the front like that. you cannot use these two slits that are here. It's just not gonna, well, it could work, yes, but that is not what we're doing here. See that? Don't do that. So we need to use the bigger gaps. There we go. And just push it right down again, nice and gentle. There we go. And then this piece will pop right in here. There we go. Looks very nice. Excellent. And now we can add these two pieces right here. So these are the teeth, as you can see. See that tooth right there? That looks very nice. So both sides should be colored, as you can see. Yep, they are. And they go in straight in these two slits right there. Just like that. Nice and easy again. There we go, that's one in. One more to go. There we are. Again, slides in very easy. So that is absolutely awesome. And now we are going to add the back legs and the front legs. And I just realized I actually forgot to pop out this piece. So this is what we need. So the first thing I'm going to do is add two of these plain rings on one side. Then imagine the leg is like this. See that? So we add the leg, just like that, and then we pop it through this bigger hole. And it should come out on the other side. There we go, just like that. Then again, two rings. That's one, that's two. And now what you need to make sure about is that the leg, this leg, is facing the same direction as this leg, because I could put it in like this, let's say, as an example, but then if you look at the other side, see, it's pointing the completely wrong direction, and that is not what you need. So because it's pointing, so because the leg's pointing up now, let's hold it in the upright position. There you go, see that? So this leg just goes in like that. They both should face the same way. And look at that, there you go. Look how both are kind of moving. That is really cool. Very nice. Okay, so we keep this down now. Just leave it facing downwards. Then we move on to the front legs. And when we talk about the front legs, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. So let's start with this. So we can pop two of these bits straight on. So make sure the two edges that have been chopped off are facing the same way, literally like that. Then when we go back to the cat, see this long piece that's right here on this side. When we come to the front leg, we do have a leg with this long piece as well, so make sure that goes on the same side as this leg that has the long piece instead of the other side. You don't want to be like this, it has to be like this. So this is how the leg is going to go on, and this side that's been chopped off has to literally face like this. That's how it has to go in. So when it turns, see that? It can't do a full 360. Okay, so let's pop this on. Obviously this is facing downwards. There we go. We pop that straight through. Literally like that. Then on the other side again, make sure the sides that have been chopped off on these pieces are facing towards the front, so towards the face. There we go. Okay, so we can turn that one. I was a little bit out of sync there. So if they are out of sync, so they don't marry up, basically, just turn it. There we go. See that? Both of them marry up. And then simply just pop on the last leg. There we go, just like that. So just remember, that's very important. So there we go. Now all we have to do is pop this nearly finished cat on top of our box. So since we can pop this cat in now, there's a specific way that it has to go in. So let me show you so you don't get it wrong. So see this piece right here, that handle piece, yeah? So I'm gonna leave it straight like this, so it's like that, basically straight. Then, so yeah, just remember, keep the gears towards you, so facing you. Then when we come to the cat, this piece right here is going to go through here, through this big hole. This piece and this piece right here, the thinner ones, so the leg pieces, they're going to go through this long slit right here. What we have to make sure that happens is that this thicker piece, this right here, and the front leg piece stay at the front of this piece. So the handle piece, I'm gonna call it, that has to stay on this side. The only piece that goes behind it is only the back leg. So when we pop it in, I'm gonna go and start with the front leg and the bigger piece. So pop that in, so the bigger piece straight in there, smaller leg right there. Because I made sure that inner piece is straight, it's gonna make life much easier. And then the rear leg, and that goes at the back of it. And then to click it in place, we have two bits right here. So one piece right here and another piece right here, and it's the same on the other side, and they are going to pop into the smaller two slots right there. So let's go ahead and do that. So it wasn't going in deep enough because, as you can see, the front leg has caught onto that piece. So just pop your finger in and move it past it. There you go, just like that. See that? And the other piece is at the back of it, right in there. So let's go and push it down now. Shouldn't be too difficult, but it should be tight enough. There you go, the back is, oh, the back was in. So I'm going to pop my fingers in to keep the top part in the place so I don't bend it too much. So it looks like this front went in first. Okay, so this side front is in. Let me see the other side. So that isn't yet. Let me push that in. There you go, see that? And then let's do the back, because we can put a little bit more pressure at the back, you see. Not too much, of course. There we go, that's one in. And the other one. I just realized I moved this square piece as well at the same time. So just be careful again. So yeah, be careful when you touch the top, because I pushed this in too deep and this pushed in right in as well, and we don't want it right in because it just went too far. So we just have to be a little bit careful. There we go, and the back is in. And let's see the other side. The back leg, back piece, so it could go in a little bit deeper, but if it doesn't go any deeper, don't try and force it in too much, because you might put too much pressure on it and you might break it, you see. And this is how it should be. So there's our front armies and our back legs right here. Absolutely excellent. So just remember how they go in, because you don't want to mess that up, because it's just not gonna work properly, you see. And now we can go on to the step 21 that I mentioned. So we've got these three pieces to start with, so we'll put that to the side just for now. These two pieces, you need to make sure they're all facing the right way, because they might look kinda the same, but they're actually not, because when you look at the bottom right here, see that? They're both totally different, so do not mix that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it like that, so I know this has to stay at the front and face like this. So I'm going to pop it down like that, and exactly the same with the other one. Then this is what we need to do with these pieces, because we're going to need all of these, and they all have to face the same way, apart from this one piece, which is the 64. So we need 5 of these pieces. So I just like to make sure that everything's in the row, lining up perfectly, so you don't mix anything up, you see, especially when it comes to these pieces right here. See that? It's like they're basically showing you how it should go in. So I'm just keeping it all literally like this, and then we go and grab this piece and we start popping these guys straight in. There we go. Just like that. Very nice and straightforward, just like that. See? So when you keep things in a row, it just gives you basically a chance to get it right the first time instead of messing you up and trying to figure out where you might have gone wrong. As for this piece, it doesn't really tell me how it should go in, but I'm kind of just trying to figure it out, and I think it might possibly go in like this. So that's how I'm going to leave it in. And if it isn't in the right place, then we can always change it later on. But it should be okay. And then we simply just pop on the other side. Again, start from one end and just push it all gently in. There we go. Literally just like that. Nice and neat. And now I'm gonna go ahead and pop out the last pieces, and we are nearly there, guys. So we go ahead and continue with the head, and just like when it came with the sides of the cat, we're gonna add the sides before we add this to the top of it. So just like so. There we go, that's one side on, and the other side right here, just like that, and then this goes right here. There we go. So the color has to face forwards, so towards the teeth. And again, be very careful, you do not want to break anything. So this feels a little bit tight, so be very, very careful. Okay, I think that's about it. Yep. And then when it comes to this part, right here, we need to make sure the color stays at the top of the head, because it's going to go on like this. But another thing is, the thicker side has to stay at the back, because when you look at this, there's thicker space on this side rather than this side. This side's space looks nice and small, so when you look at this piece, this side is nice and thick, which means it's going to go at the back. There we go. And just push it gently in. Just like that. Excellent. Looks absolute magic. So we'll pop this to the side just for now. We come back to our cat because we've got a tail. And there's actually one bit that I forgot to kind of look at properly. So, see the piece that's in the middle here, connecting these two legs? There was a slit in it. And I hope to God that you made sure that the slit faces up instead of going down, because the tail actually clips right in it. You could pop it in from the bottom like this. It's not going to make much harm. It's okay if the tail's facing downwards. But if you want it to be exactly how it shows on the box, you would have to take off both the legs and switch the piece around. Let me quickly show you, because it's not going to take long at all to switch them. So you take one leg off, you take the other one off, and it's this piece right here. So if it was facing like this, because the legs are on, you can't turn it anymore, because the tail has to go in like this, you see. So as you can see, I pulled out very easily, so that is absolutely magic. So without actually popping the legs back on, I'll pop the tail in right now, because it doesn't look like it's that straightforward, because you can't see right in there. Yes, actually that was much easier. Nice. And then you can go back and pop the legs in. Make sure this stays at the back here. So it's no hardship at all if your slit is facing down. Just take both the rear legs off. It's very simple to take them off and put them back on. So no harm done. There we go. As long as you put them back together correctly, of course. There you go, just like that. See? There we go. And if the tail was facing downwards, it doesn't make much difference because cats' tails could go like that down instead of going up, you see. So, absolutely awesome. The tail is in. Okay, now what we've got to do is add a little wee fishy. So we'll look at this piece first. As you can see, this end right here is way smaller than this wide side right there. So that goes straight in there. As you can see, it's quite wide, so this small side is definitely not going in there. So it's the wider side. So pop that straight in, right to the end. There we go. And then we go ahead and pop our little wee fishy on. And that goes on like so. There we go. So it basically follows around this piece like that. That's how it follows like that. See that? And not the other way like this. Not like that. So let's go ahead and pop that on. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Nice wee fishy. So when you're turning the hand crank, this fishy is just gonna follow around, which is pretty cool. Then we come to these pieces right here. So turn the box like so. Then make sure this slit is facing this way, right here. So towards the front. And then this goes in at the top. Like that. There we go. So this slit has to face this way because there's something else that's going to go on there in just a second. So the head is going on, and this is why you have to get this end right. Remember that? How there's a hole and there's that end, they're both totally different. It's because this is going to click in at the end right there. So head on first, then we pop this piece through the hole. And we'll look at the other side, and we literally just want to make sure that that piece clicks right till the end of the head. There we go, just like that. Excellent. Look at that, that is cool. Absolutely brilliant. We're so close. And now we've only got a few pieces left, which is absolutely amazing. The whole automata has been nearly completed. Then we come to this piece right here. So see this slot right there at the head, that's where this slots in. And the fish should face down like this and not the other way like that. We literally pop it in. There we go, just like that, and just literally let it go. So it should be loose like this, and it should be on the inside of this little wee fish and not on the outside like that. So make sure it's on the inside, and that is literally it. Then we go on to our little wee fishes right here. That pops in literally just like that, nice and simple, and then this one like that. So this fish right here, you need to make sure it kind of jumps towards the head, and that one kind of jumps down towards the head. There we go. And now we've only got 3 pieces left. We've got this little guy to make it look like a cat angel basically. Pop that straight on top of his head, just like that. And then we've got 2 wings, and they go on just like so. There we go. So that piece that's in there, there's 2 slits. Obviously a wing is in already, and this is how it goes in. So the longest part, so the longest feather should be first, and then it goes down to smallest one. And the same on the other side. There we go. Literally as simple as that. Excellent, guys. And now that it's completed, just take a look around the whole kit before you hand crank it. It looks absolutely brilliant, so different, absolutely magic. And now we can go ahead, hand crank it, and have a wee look of what it's doing and listening to the little melody. But before I actually hand crank it, I had to change something slightly on this model. You don't have to worry about it at all, but if you can spot something new, well done. If you can't, trust me, it does not make any difference to your model at all. It's just for myself. And let's go ahead and hand crank it and see what happens. How awesome is this? That is absolutely brilliant. Love how that mouth just keeps opening and keeps catching that fish right there. And there's a lot of stuff going on. The wings are moving, the legs, the tail, the front legs. There's stuff happening at the back as well, which is absolutely brilliant. It's such a perfect kit for especially beginners who have not assembled any wooden models, because it's relaxing, it doesn't take long, it's quite simple. You don't need tools, wax or sanding. Pop out the pieces and put them together and just enjoy the magic. It's perfect. And I so hope you have enjoyed this video, everybody, and make sure you go and check out their Automata models. I've got a link in description and comment section, and make sure you go through that link because you'll automatically get 5% off. And please make sure you leave a like for this video and subscribe for more, and I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.